Hey, it's Exile, and this is my Venom Gyre Assassin build, which I'll be playing as my League starter character for Blight 3.8. Quick note before I get into it, the path of building and forum guide link are in the description below if you prefer to read them. They're much more fleshed out and informative than I can be in the video. I spent all night typing it out, making it look a little more fresh than this video will be. I also have timestamps to all the important parts of this video. It'll be in the comments for anyone on their mobile and also in the description as well. This build will be using the new skill gem Venom Gyre. That is unique to claws and daggers. This gem has 50% physical damage converted to chaos damage, huge flat added chaos damage, and also comes bundled with chance to poison on hit and a unique returning projectile mechanic. We'll be converting our physical damage to cold, and stacking elemental damage so we can freeze and chill big blights throughout the Atlas. We're playing Assassin, as the new elusive buff, which grants you a multitude of stats, will complement the playstyle of Venom Gyre quite well. Using greater multiple projectiles and fork, we'll be throwing out and catching 10 blades per attack, with almost 10 attacks per second. This results in around 100 blades being thrown out in total. The pros of this build is that elusive is an absolute juicer of a buff, giving us attack speed and spell dodge chance, 100% critical strike multi, critical strike chance, reduced damage taken, and movement speed. The buff decays over time, but we instantly get it back as our Nightblade support and Mistwalker will help us get it on hit and crit. It's going to be a really good league starter, as the only map mod we can't run is no leech, allowing us to alch and go to our heart's content. While mapping, we don't have any mana problems as we have mana leech from claw nodes, and we can also sustain all our frenzy, power and endurance charges, thanks to Blood Rage, Assassin Mark and Duresso's Defiance. The build itself won't have a huge health pool, but we make up for that thanks to our massive layers of defense. With 70% chance to evade, capped 75% attack dodge, 65% spell dodge, 20% block chance, and if we get lucky with oils and blight, we'll also have another 20% avoidance thanks to one of the new notables. We're also immune to reflect, and with our endgame gear we'll be blinding enemies thanks to the Pandemonius. The build's pretty wild, it's fairly original Mathel style of build, however I find that is the most enjoyable and I think this one will work great in Blight. As a side note, this build is mostly designed for mapping and general clearing of the Atlas as well as league content, doesn't really focus on Shaper, Uber Elder, etc. The build could probably do it, I believe it could. I'm a fairly mediocre player myself, I haven't even attempted them before. With that, we'll get into the build. The build's designed around level 95. No one really hits level 100, or if you are, you're insane. I don't even really hit level 95, but I feel like it's a nice spot to pick. I have trees for every single one though. If you feel like you're going to go 100, go for it. And I have all your leveling trees in Path of Building. Path of Building is obviously, as most of you are probably aware, the best way to play Path of Exile. Have it on the side and go through your leveling trees. So 95 as our endgame tree, and for Bandit we choose Allura. The crit multiplier is great, and getting the resistances is just, it's too good to pass up. It allows us to get really expensive jewelry as we don't have to worry about resistances as much. We also pick up resistances all along the tree as well. You can feel like you grab the survivalist if you want. I pick it up on the 100 tree. I don't think I'll get that far anyway. For leveling, we want to pass through obviously the physical and chaos damage mods. For now, we are using Spectral Throw as a sub-in for Venom Gyre, simply because it's not on Path of Building, but the DPS is like fairly indicative. It's an attack projectile. It's only going to multiply heaps more when Venom Gyre actually gets added, as well as Vicious Projectiles buff. We path through the tree over to Coordination, head up to Trickery, get your standard stuff, and pass through. We really don't pick up much health, but early on we'll grab all the stuff we can get. We'll go through the Revenge of the Hunted, where we can get Evasion Radiant, Max Life. After that, we got the Dominus tree, where you'll probably be around here around Act 3. We get Blood Drinker and go up to Soul Raker, where we start for solving all our mana problems. After that, we got the Act 5 Katava, basically just the acrobatics, nothing too crazy here. Blood Aqueducts, I pick up the Strength node, only grab it if you need it. You probably need it later down the line, but it's no stress now. And then we start getting onto our physical damage conversion, so we get Winter Spirit, probably picking up maybe a Crimson Arrows around this point if you can afford it. They're usually pretty cheap, they're pretty common. We got our map build. At this point we've also picked up our points, so in order, I'll go back, sorry. We grab Mistwalker first. It's too good to pass up. The elusive's just insane. I'll go into actual Ascendancy details in a bit, but we then go for Unstable Infusion, Deadly Infusion, and we finish off with grabbing Opportunistic. And this is the build. I'll give a nice zoomed out, so if you can want to just pause the video, give a second here. Second on the level 2032 tree. Second on the Catava tree. Light Aqueducts. Endgame. For anyone that's mental, level 100. So for the Ascendancy, we want to choose a Mistwalker first, just because of the increased effect for Elusive. Also, taking no extra damage from Critical Strike while Elusive is insane. There's really no reason not to grab this. We don't benefit from anything else this early on, so picking this up as soon as we can is ideal. Also, the Nightblade support is available fairly early on, so we can get early crit chance and crit multi very quickly. Unstable Infusion's next, as the power charge will help heaps with the critical strikes, and the same with, we won't have our Assassin's Mark set up just yet, so this will help generate our power charges. Deadly Infusion is awesome to grab. We grab it at the perfect time as we enter maps, gives us the crit multi we need, finishes off our critical strike chance, movement speed's a nice little sprinkle on top. Opportunistic is obviously the final one, our Uber Lab. It's mostly for bossing, which is what we're doing near the end of the Atlas, when you'd probably need it the most, and that's why we get it for the Uber Lab. For the Pantheon. Pantheon's a bit of overrated, but we grab our Soul of Lunaris or Soul of Solaris. I usually grab Soul of Solaris because it's better for bosses, and that's the thing I usually struggle with, but either's a really good option. And for the Umano, Soul of Shikari is just really basic, immune to poison, keeps everything neat once you've upgraded it, if anyone actually upgrades it. We'll go for our gems and links. Vicious Projectiles got an insane buff in the new thing. So this is actually the Venom Gyre gem. These stats are huge. The added flat chaos is unreal, and 120% base attack speed. Considering how we've managed to scale the DPS so neatly on just Spectral Flare, which has nothing of benefit to it, and then we get all these juicy mods on it, the damage is actually going to be unreal. Even for mapping, the clear is going to be really good, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. Just because of how unique the skill is, you could build it multiple ways. I really thought about going faster projectiles for a bit, just to throw the Venom Gyre blades even further at. However, I think Fork will be the best, as you'll get more, as you'll get twice as many as you throw out back. If you're going Deadeye, Chain is definitely a great option, but for Assassin, Fork and GMP will be a great option for clearing, and then we'll go our damage gems. Because we're going elemental damage, Wed is obviously elemental damage with attacks is obviously super important, and it's a huge toss up between Vicious Projectiles and Hypothermia. I'm really not sure. I think with the new Vicious Projectiles, it's still able to edge it out. However, Hypothermia is a really good option. For our 6th link, we'll have Nightblade, so we'll cross out whatever we think isn't as great. So if Vicious Projectiles turns out to be more damage than Hypothermia, take out Hypothermia, put in Nightblade as our support instead. Wailing Blades. Having Wailing Blades is super important with this build, especially with the interaction it has with Venom Gyre. If you dash through an enemy, it would burst out your Venom Gyre. Putting Blood Magic on that, we can't really sustain the mana. It's fine if we're mapping and through mobs, but when you're whirling around picking up loot at the end, it's just not ideal. Hatred, Precision, Summon Lightning Golem, and Blood Rage. These are fairly simple. The final two is just Frenzy Charge generation from the Blood Rage. The attack speed from Lightning Golem is what we want. Precision, we only get it to level 10, as that's when we only really need it. If that, we don't really lose crit chance until level 6. But we can reserve down in that mana pretty comfortably. And Hatred's fine on its own. We don't need to worry about that too much. Herald of Ice, Curse on a Hit, Assassin's Mark. I can't ever get enough of Herald of Ice, Curse on a Hit. It's just such an easy way to generate any sort of curse. Great for Assassin Mark because you get power charges. You could also go Projectile Weakness. However, I think you'll probably kill the mobs too quickly anyway, so you're better off getting the slain benefits from Assassin Mark than the real-time benefits you'd get of Projectile Weakness, as I feel like you won't actually feel it. For our cast when damage taken setup, we'll go for the level 8 cast when damage taken. So support a level 10 Immortal Core. I like to aim for around a third or a quarter of my health for cast when damage taken. Even though if we do get hit, we'll probably get one shot. It's just a caution I like to take if we happen to get hit for small amounts. And obviously you put your Vow Haste in this setup as well, so it benefits from the increased duration too. Finally, for the gems, we also want Ancestral Protector. It's just a little side boy, kind of a scuffed decoy totem, but it'll work well for you if you're doing any sort of bossing with phases. So that'll help heaps. Help us out a little bit. It also gives us more attack speed, which is great. For gear, good old gear. These are just your standard fizz damage claws. You don't want anything fancy. This is obviously an insane one. You probably won't be getting this in the league. It's not T1. It's really high though. Anything around 400 PDPS is still probably going to be great. You can pick that up in a new league just fine. Stark Conjurer's Head will be very expensive. We have two options here actually. We have the Stark Conjurer's Head, or you could go with Abyssus. If you were feeling like big ball players, you could go the Abyssus, considering we have so much dodge chance. Although you will lose evasion if you go with Abyssus, and if you get hit, you're definitely getting one shot, so there's really no in between. I think Stark Conjurers is a better option. You're only going to get about like 10% more DPS about that with an Abyssus, whereas you take 40% increased damage. So it's really quite the trade-off. Duresso's Defiance is our choice for a chest piece, as we get the endurance charges when we kill. We get the endurance charges on hits when we lose them all on hit, which will help with our Immortal Core. And also we get increased onslaught effect. There's so many benefits to Duresso's Defiance. It could be very popular this league with how dodge mechanics are going to work. Everyone's going to be using dodge just thanks to Assassin. But it helps cap our dodge. It also gives us max life. It's everything you want in an item. Hrimburn for our gloves. You really don't need Hrimburn. Hiram Sorrow will do just fine. Don't really need the upgraded version. We don't need to ignite. 8,000 ignite DPS. It's really not going to do anything, but chuck it on anyway. Hiram Sorrow will do just fine. Boots, grab anything with anything with movement speed and a shitload of resistances. Here I grabbed strength, as we would want strength for our Nomad, but you could just as easily use Belt of the Deceiver. It's probably even a better option, so you don't have to grab the strength, and you lose out on a bit of resistances, but the damage is comparable, if not even better with Belt of the Deceiver. So you just want your standard rare boots. I also have links. Just a quick note, I have links for all of these in the build guide. If you really want to hunt items down, it's so much easier to grab it through there. Click on the link, it'll give you a Blight trade link. Just find whatever's cheap, buy it. For our amulet, Pandemonious. It is such a great item. But the problem is it's going to be really expensive. Early on, this will probably be multiple exalts. We really can't afford it. But you could probably just grab any amulet with like crit multi, fizz damage attacks. I'll have a link to another amulet that'll do that. They could probably even get an amulet with way more damage than this, but the blind is the real lifesaver on that one. For rings, we're trying to find out, that's where we're trying to get most our damage from our rings. You also want to squeeze on resistances, but as you can see, I have an absolute monster amount of resistances, so it's not even a problem. 86% cold res over max. You can afford, you'll have plenty to work with and plenty to cap, so it's not too much of a problem. Grab those, grab crit. Once again, I'll go through the weighted sum at the end of the video just to show you how to use it, as it can be really beneficial. I might even make a whole video on it, as I've had a lot of questions about it before, a lot of if command questions and stuff like that. Really useful stuff. And I find that's how you get the cheaper items, especially early on in the league. Nomad is our belt of choice, but like I was saying before, Belt of the Deceiver is a really good option as well. However, that's really popular early in the league. So either one's good. This gives us elemental resistances while we have 200 strength, which we have. And it also gives us increased projectile attack damage with 200 dexterity, which we clear very easily. For our flasks, these flasks are really overkill. We don't need them. You can get Adzeres very easily, Divine Life Flask very easily, and as long as you have a Silver Flask for the Onslaught and the increased Onslaught effect for Duressos, it's really not a problem. We don't need any of these other ones. Obviously, they're very nice to have, and they will like obviously boost your damage, but it's overkill. It's not needed. It'd be a luxury buy at best. You'd definitely want to be focusing on your 6 links and all that before you get these. And for our sockets, we just have Abyss Jewels with max life, cold damage to attacks, etc. This one has lightning damage to attacks. But really, as long as you search within the sum, you'll find that you'll get whatever your build needs most, or our build needs most. And that's pretty much the gear. For leveling, I plan to actually use the Cobra Lash. So Cobra Lash with Onslaught and LMP during the early levels will clearly do better than Venom Gyre. I don't intend to use Venom Gyre until Act 5, when the bosses start getting healthier, and that's probably when it will be nice to switch. But leveling is definitely, that's how you want to go. No one in the early league will have tabulas, etc., so it doesn't really matter for that gear. But definitely Cobra Lash, Onslaught, LMP is definitely how you want to be going for leveling. Before I end the video, I do just want to go into a little bit of detail on what I was talking about with searching for items and using weighted sums. So we're just doing a standard search here because Blight League isn't out, but obviously all the links in the build have Blight in them, so you'll be able to search it straight away. This can be really confusing, especially if you're new. So weighted sum will basically, it's your per point value. So here, this item here, this implicit mod, percent increased damage per 15 dexterity. That is the best per point value we can get for our rings, for our build. So it's an odd damage option. We use a script to get all this. I'll leave a link in the description actually. But when you're searching for your rings in your build, you want to untick this, so then you can find whatever resistance you need. You'll find you probably have enough cold resistance, but let's say you need 35 fire, and let's say you need 24 lightning, and you might even want maximum life. So we can add maximum life on there. Let's just say 50. Retick it, and then we can scroll down, and we can search for something we want. After you've searched for that, no matter what, you'll get something that has all the resistances you need, and then you can simply click sum to search for the best damage. Obviously, we don't want to be buying something ridiculous, so we can add a trade filter. Let's add 100, not even, let's add 50. A 50 chaos max trade filter. This is how you find items really cheap early on in the league. When you sort by sum, a lot of things slip through the cracks for mods you might not realize are good for your build. So this has popped up 20 chaos, and this is the best for our build that we could get for 20 chaos. It's going to increase our damage the most. Sometimes it can be a little buggy, it's pretty rare, but that's what we'd want. On the new league, however, these things are insane for finding them. People might not realize, or even I might not, anyone might not realize what mods can improve your build. And when you use something like the script that I use, which is just a trade item script, and it can give you the weighted sum data for your build by using your path of building data, it helps heaps, and it'll really help you get these cheap items. And not only that, but you can message these guys and give them a sneaky lowball offer, because they probably don't realize what it's worth either. You'll find the top listed item will be worth Exalts, and you can find not even 3 down, there might be one that's 15 chaos, 2x, 10 chaos. They just slip right in there, and it's easy to buy, easy to get, helps heaps. I might make a whole separate video like I was saying before on this, because there's a lot of different commands that people struggle with when doing Path of Exile.trade. A lot of things like if commands, counts, etc. They can get people confused. I've had people message me directly about if commands as they didn't quite understand it. But these are how you get items really cheap early on in the league. You can find everything you need for your build by using a combination of all this stuff. It just takes a little bit of tweaking, but it's pretty difficult. It's not too difficult once you realize how to do it, and it saves you heaps of chaos. Thanks for watching. If you happen to watch all of it, that's awesome. Please consider leaving a like or a comment. Let me know, maybe even a subscribe. If you like the build, comment. Let me know if you're actually playing it. That'd actually make my day heaps, either if it's on the forum or on the YouTube. It's the first time I've made a video build guide. I've made a few build guides on the forum before, and it's always really nice seeing the comments and the people that actually play my builds. It feels good. So I look forward to hearing it. I'll also be doing a day 1 update just to show some gameplay, because I couldn't really, there's nothing really to show yet. So I'll do a Blight day 1 gameplay update within 12 hours after league launch. For now, thank you for watching. I'll see you then.